Hey y'all, welcome back. It is Joe here with Best Living, and today we are at the house. It is a cozy Saturday fall day, and there are some things I need to get done, primarily in this kitchen, in my home more broadly. We just celebrated my daughter's birthday last weekend, so we are still reeling over from that with all of the celebrations, all of her new toys, old toys, purging, everything. So I thought it would be fun for y'all to come along with me as I tidy up my kitchen, process some groceries that I just got. But I just wanted to keep it as a cozy day. Today I have on a really comfortable set that I've got a million years ago. I'm about to tack on my apron because you know I mean business. When I put on my apron, let's get right into our cozy Saturday at home. Let's fall into it. You get it? Falling, it's fall. Cue the next clip. So we're going to refill some of our canisters in preparation of holiday baking and cooking. My powdered sugar is getting low, so we're going to add in a fresh bag at the bottom. And if you're a holiday baker or cook, now is the time. Late October, very early November is when I like to go ahead and stock up on my necessities. I do have a spare powdered sugar just in case, but this is a good start. Hungry Jack is my favorite pancake mix. Now I know I can make it myself, and sometimes I do, but nothing beats a Hungry Jack pancake. My pancake mix again is also running low. Going to add in our new pancake mix. And this is the complete one. You just add water. I do doctor mine up, but you can do whatever you want. And then we're going to add back in the original or the additional pancake mix we had on top. And I do it this way just to make sure that technically the older of the two mixes are used up first. And I like to get the light, what is it? Hold on. There we go. I like to get the extra fluffy and light mix. Super good. I did run a load last night, so we're going to take the time and put these away super quick. I was on a recent business trip a couple weeks ago, and I had one of the most simplistic breakfasts, but it was really filling and delicious. It was a high protein kind of charcuterie, had a boiled egg, spinach, prosciutto, or maybe like salami, and then it had apricots and nuts, and then like fresh fruit. So I want to recreate those little power packs for me and my husband for work throughout the day, because we're trying to be more responsible in our eating, because y'all know I love a good special treat. I love Dr. Pepper, 23 flavors of perfection, but those things are not sustainable long term. So I need to mix in a couple more healthy habits. And it was really tasty. So we're going to boil some eggs. I bought some apricots, and I have some nuts. I do not have prosciutto or salami or spinach, so we're just going to make it with what we have on hand and let that be good enough. goner. While their eggs are cooking, we're going to load my water here in the pantry. Y'all have seen this setup before. I get my water tins from the Container Store. I'll be sure to link them below. They hold a full case of water. This is a 48 pack from Costco. A 40 pack, excuse me, from Costco. But it fits it beautifully. And that's 40 bottles of water. So I'm about to make a power pack. As I told y'all, I don't have all the ingredients that I had when I was on my business trip, but we're gonna use what we got. So we got some nuts. I did get some apricots at the store the other day. I have some sliced cheese and a boiled egg. And then I do have some crackers that we could use in the same compartment as the cheese if we need to. So I'm going to peel this egg. These are made in my egg cooker. They normally come out absolutely perfect. Perfect egg. Here's the egg. I'm gonna put the egg in one compartment there. I'm gonna put the cheese there. I'm gonna add a handful of nuts. These are mixed nuts. I prefer almonds, but again, we're having what's on hand. Not too many, just enough to kind of get a little graze action. And these are pretty much like the ones you can get from Starbucks, but way more economical. And the beauty of these and making them at home is that you can use whatever items you like. I happen to really like dried apricots. But you could use banana chips, you could use mangoes, you can use whatever you want. So throw a few in there. And then let me get the crackers I was telling you all about. These are not the crackers I wanted, but it's what I got. These are club crackers. I'm just gonna put a few in there. And then lay, I don't know, I'll lay the cheese right on top of the apricot. A little salt and pepper. Salt and pepper the egg. And there is our cute little snack pack. Alright, so I'll make the rest up and put these in the fridge. Welcome back to the kitchen, friends. I am up and we're going to get ready to process some veggies that I got from the store in preparation of Thanksgiving and Christmas. I like to have my freezer stocked as best as I can with chopped celery, diced onions, anything and everything in between that will make making soups and stews and dressing and collards, bell peppers, all that kind of stuff easy to grab. I have a lot of celery I need to dice and chop today. Have some green onions just to eat for the week, as well as some Brussels sprouts. I do not have bell pepper right now. I need to do that. I want to chop and process some onions as well as some baby potatoes. I'm going to try something new, so we'll talk about that more once we get to it. But let's get cleaned up, our veggies and our produce, and get to chopping. Here we have the celery. I have it moon shaped, so just a quick chop. And then I also have it diced more finely. These I like to use in like roux, gravies, dressing, where you know you want the celery flavor but you don't need it to be like visible and present. And then I like to have maybe a thicker celery piece in like our soups, chicken soup, you know, things like that. I make a lot of chicken soup in the fall and winter time, so this is probably maybe like 3 batches, maybe even 2, depending on how much I make. But I'm now going to place a paper towel over them, and I'm going to lightly press down to absorb any of the moisture and let these air dry out on the counter for at least an hour. And then once they are air dry, we will put them in the freezer for roughly 30 minutes to an hour to let them flash freeze so that they freeze as pieces and not a clump. Well, you can see the moisture is already being absorbed. So definitely do this step if you're going to do this application of freezing your celery, as it makes for a better product in the end when you're ready to use it. So back to the chopping block. So here are my washed potatoes. I plan to clean up any of the eyes. I got these on markdown from my grocery store for like $2 for organic red potatoes, which is a really good deal. They are a little bit, you know, imperfection, or they are not perfect, which is why they are on markdown. Not a problem. We're going to chop away any of the bits we don't want to have on it. And then we're going to try to make our own hash browns. So I decided just to set the table. So I'm going to attempt to make potatoes O'Brien, which is the square little hash browns you'll see like at breakfast with onions and bell peppers. Absolutely my favorite type of hash brown. So I don't know how this is going to work, but I got this little chopper. Y'all have seen these everywhere. This one came from Aldi. Absolutely love it. So I'm just going to put the potato and then get the town chopping. It looks like this. It's a little bit longer than ideally the actual hash brown is, but it's going to have to work today. And once I dice them all, if something is too long, then I'll just chop it up with my knife by hand. But that's how they look. Super cute little dice. And we're going to lay these flat, allow them to air dry, flash freeze, and then put them in our freezer bags. Those have to be in the frame for a second. So here are the potatoes all diced. The little chopper worked well. Just be cautious that you don't overfill your potatoes, as you could possibly dent your blade a little bit like I did, but that's okay. So they look absolutely perfect. I'm going to lay them first on a clean dish towel. And this will help wick away some of the moisture of the potatoes. And then once they've set on the towel and dried out, I have my baking dish, or not baking dish, I have my sheet pan here with some parchment paper. Oops, sorry about that. That we'll use to put it in the freezer to flash freeze. So spread them all out into a single layer. And this would be your chance to also look for any imperfections. If a piece is too big, you want to chop it smaller, you can. And these will dry out nicely. I'm going to get another paper towel like I did for the celery and pat out some of the moisture on top and let these air dry before transferring them to the baking sheet to go into the freezer. All right, so we're gonna, like I said, pat some of these potatoes, wick away any of potatoes are pretty wet and they're very starchy. I'm sure y'all know that. So it can hold a lot of moisture. So you really want to get these as dry as you can before you freeze them. I am not blanching them. I don't feel like doing any of that today. I'm not boiling any water. So I'm going to make sure everything is very dry, that it freezes in a single layer. So when it goes into the freezer, it's not a big clump like I said earlier. Now, if you want to blanch, you can. That's just where you boil your water and you blanch them for about 30 to 45 seconds. That will help prolong the shelf life or the life of your item in the freezer and also preserve the texture. But because I know I'm going to be using these pretty much the full month of November, I'm not worried about it. So let that go. So to recap what we've done our celery, which is still over here drying out. We have our potatoes. We diced our Brussels, or we chopped our Brussels, chopped our green onions, and that's everything for like fresh produce. I do have some pizza dough that's coming to rise, so I'm gonna make our pizza with y'all. We're having that for lunch today, and then we'll be done. I'm really proud of myself. I'm really trying so hard to get everything done in the kitchen when I have the time and the energy, because if y'all are anything like me, when I sat down, I'm not getting up. So I want to make sure that I'm maximizing not just my time and energy, but stretching my dollar when I'm at the grocery store for getting these items processed and utilized to the best of my ability. So I encourage you to do the same. Carve out an hour or two or however much time you have and process what you're going to do based off the food you buy. Favorite marinara sauce, use this for pizza, pastas, lasagna, any and everything in between. So I don't measure, but I use onion powder and just add sprinkles. This is Italian seasoning. Add those in. Garlic powder. If I had to measure, maybe a teaspoon of each. Pinch of salt and a hefty amount of black pepper. Alright, we're gonna give it all a good mix. So we don't like an overly sauced pizza, but we do, like enough on there. So adjust this to your family's likings. But this sauce as a base is really delicious. So now we have our dough and our sauce. We're going to set this to the side and work on our toppings. In the meantime, we're going to get started on flash freezing all of our celery and potatoes. So I've transferred half of my potatoes to my baking sheet, and I did that because I want these to have enough space around them to freeze. And because potatoes can be kind of fickle, I'm just going to do them in batches. So the first batch is on the baking sheet. We're going to get this ready to go into the freezer, and then we'll do these when these on the sheet pan are complete. So I have my kitchen helper, and she's going to dress our pizza. Hold on. All right. Go ahead.
So this is my mom's cheese.
Yes. Viola. All right.
Here are our toppings: ham, pepperoni, and sausage.
Okay, So we're gonna put pepperoni down first.
Oh, yeah.
Here's our pizza. We're gonna bake it in the oven at 425 degrees for 15 minutes. Check it and then add another 5 if we need it. This is the frozen diced celery. We're about to bag it up. Whoop. So the best way to get the air out is to scoop or push everything toward the bottom. Close all the way up to one end, like that. Push back and then make sure all the air is out before you seal it. And there we have our diced celery. Our diced potatoes, chopped celery, and our diced celery. Perfect in our freezer. So I did chop our Brussels sprouts, as you saw. Those are those. And I did make our power packs, but how about my husband and my daughter already ate the other one, so we have one left, so I will definitely be making more of those. They are certainly a crowd pleaser. Here's our green onions for the week. I keep a paper towel to keep any moisture. So here is the kitchen clean and tidied up in its glory. So I am going to light my new candle. I got it from Home Goods. I shared it in a recent Home Goods haul that I'll link for you all. But it smells really warm, delicious, notes of bourbon, caramel. It just smells grown and sexy, and we're going to give it a go. So we're going to trim the wick. Alright, so we trim the wick, and now let's light it. And that's it. Thanks for hanging out with me today and yesterday in the kitchen, getting things prepped, getting things cleaned up and cleaned out. I appreciate you spending your time with me. As always, remember you are seen, you are loved, and you are chosen of the Most High. And I'll see you back here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye, y'all.